Scott, what are you doing, man?
What do you mean?
What are you doing?
Set weekly tea?
Nah, man. Nick! What's happening?
You alright?
So, welcome to a weekly tea. This week we thought, trying to introduce some of the staff, get reasons how they got in the industry, why they got in the industry, what things they actually use, because so far it's been a lot of the science behind, which is great for increasing knowledge, increasing information. But in terms of relations, sometimes it kind of go a bit over people's heads. So we got Nick here. So how did you get in the industry?
When you're talking in the industry, you're talking
Like,
within...
let's break it down. How did you get into fitness first?
To be honest, it was more growing up watching stuff like the wrestling. Silly things like that, like seeing John Cena come down the ramp.
Yeah.
Made me want to change my body. When I was in sixth form, we had to do on a Wednesday, it was an hour of some sort of outside activity. So a couple of my mates were in the gym, so I thought, go on, why not just join in? Didn't really take part in the gym itself. It was more of a social aspect for me.
Yeah.
It was only when I moved gyms with one of my mates that we decided to take it a bit more seriously. I didn't know what I wanted to do from school, but I enjoyed football, so I took PE into further education, and then I got a bit more into nutrition. I was working
You're doing
at
that
McDonald's.
at university now, aren't you?
Yeah, doing it in university as well, sports nutrition for health. But that I decided to get into all that when I was working at McDonald's, which is obviously...
Yeah. It's one of those things, in a way, you don't quite associate with nutrition and McDonald's. But some things like that can lead.
Yeah, it was mostly the fact that I seen how the food was...
Prep.
Not even just prepped, it was more the people that were coming in getting the food, and you look at people thinking it's a bit... it's not taking the country in the right place sort of thing. So yeah, so I went to college, did sports science. It was a bit too broad, it was a bit of a wide spectrum for me. So
when you were doing sports science, what niche did you want to go down?
I wasn't sure, to be honest. I knew nutrition was something that I liked more than most.
Yeah.
But at first, to be honest, I was looking at sports psychology or sports massage. But I was useless at that.
Okay, so from fitness then, how did you, obviously the nutrition aspect kind of comes into play, but how did you get into supplements?
It was when I was in college. I hadn't used supplements before, but obviously being around a few people, like one of my tutors was heavy into his sports science and that, and I mentioned the fact that I wanted to do a competition down the line, so he mentioned a few supplements to me.
What kind of competition was this?
I wanted to do bodybuilding.
Oh, bodybuilding, okay.
Yeah. But obviously, as I was in college, I was seeing obviously a rise into nutrition. I'd popped in the store a few times and I'd got a few proteins here and there. I think everyone back then when I was growing up, it was more everyone wanted to just get on the protein. It was the idea just to get massive, so you were just buying something every week.
Cool. So in terms of what you would recommend for someone who's just starting fitness, what supplements would you recommend? What categories, or have you got a specific, like a favourite one you used when you first got in the industry?
When I first got it depends obviously on your initial goal. I mean, a few people make the mistake when they first get into it and just start hammering everything they can get hold of.
Yeah. I
know a fair few people come in buy strong pre-workouts, which could then put them off pre-workouts.
Yeah, definitely.
They'll come in, they'll take them, even build up a tolerance to a lot of the higher pre-workouts early on. I'd say, to be honest, get yourself a good protein. It's important because obviously a lot of people, when they first get into the gym, they're not really focusing on the nutrition side of things anyway.
No, they think a lot. What I find that with a lot of people's mentality, is that they'll take a supplement and they'll expect it to work miracles to overcompensate for their lack of nutritional side from the diet, and then they're not seeing the results they want to see, and then what do they blame the supplement? Oh, this doesn't work.
cereal all the time, yeah.
Why does this not work? Why does this fat burner not work? Have you decreased your calories? I'm not eating that much. Okay, what are you drinking? Well, I'm drinking about 2 litres of Pepsi a day. Alright then, well there's like 2,000 calories just from liquid. So like people don't realise, even when it comes to like little things like that, these are meant to supplement your food. They're food supplements. They're not meant to take over. And I think like a lot of people who first get into fitness, they'll take everything under the sun to try and speed up their results.
Yeah, you find that, don't you? You find they'll come in and they'll come in and spend loads of money on all the supplements they can get hold of. I mean, it's good to have it.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what it's doing or why you're taking it, if you just see
can't gauge it.
Yeah, you see it. A lot of people are saying what the mates are buying and they're just getting it all. But you need to know what's doing what for you and why it's doing it.
Yeah.
And you need to be asking the questions. It's one of the things I didn't do when I first came in. I literally just seen something, felt a bit embarrassed but to ask questions, so I picked something up.
Yeah.
And just walked out with it.
Yeah. That's
Can't
a lot.
expect miracles.
It's a big it's a bit of an ego hit. Would you say, like, when people come in and they get not over bombarded, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't quite know what to look for, so they're a bit scared to come across as stupid. But that's the wrong word I'm looking for.
I think you're right. I think within fitness anyway itself, obviously there's big egos involved. Coming into a shop and asking questions about things.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're stupid at all. It just means you're new to the actual the industry. You're new to taking supplements, so don't be afraid to ask questions. Why am I taking this? What does this do? You know, and so forth. Don't rely on like we get a lot of my mate's taking this and he's getting huge.
Yeah.
Can I take this? Well, yeah, but are you doing what your mate is doing? Your mate might be watching what he's eating. He might be increasing his weightlifting. You know, he's not going out every weekend getting absolutely bladdered and then wondering why on the Tuesday and Wednesday he's not that strong in the gym. So in terms of what you actually take yourself, what do you take?
It's so every day I will touch on a protein. I take USN's Blue Lab Way at the moment. I'm taking that a few times a day depending on my food outside.
Is there any time you specifically take that, or it doesn't really matter to you? Do you believe in the anabolic window?
Not necessarily, no, but I do have one post-workout.
Yeah.
That's just for convenience, straight in. I don't ever really feel like eating straight after in the gym, so it is just ideal.
Yeah,
just
I'm the same.
Drink one.
It's very hard to kind of eat afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like people will say have a big meal after you train. It's like I've got to wait an hour, 2 hours before my appetite's even close.
Yeah, that's the same with me, to be honest.
So besides the basics of the whey protein, you mentioned before that you're currently taking brain breads.
Yeah.
Is that to help with your studies?
Yeah, with being in uni, a lot of exams, a lot of coursework, I'm taking the brain bridge purely because I like that brain stimulation. Taking the pre-workouts themselves, it's a big hit of caffeine, but the brain bridge really does focus me in. I've noticed that from doing from the start of the year when I started in uni, I didn't use Brainbridge. Don't think it was around.
What difference have you noticed?
I've noticed that my focus is a lot more on point. I'm not the greatest of readers, so when I take it, I can zone in and I can actually read a book. I can read. I can focus on it. It's more. That's the main thing, really, is the focus.
I find that with reading myself. Like I'll skim over a page and then I'll find that I've not actually took in the information.
Yeah.
And then I've got to go back and reread it.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm making myself more work here. What flavour do you take?
I had the sour nukes.
Yeah.
But I've recently tried. Is it the rainbow sherbet?
Rainbow sherbet. Is that nicer tasting?
Much nicer, yeah.
From what I know, what I've been told by Steve Salmon of Man Sports is the newer flavours use the unflavoured version of Dynamine. Is it Dynamine? I'm so terrible at finding this. I think I need to take some brain bits. Tnutrition. There you go. Thinking of the wrong ingredients. The unflavoured version of tnutrition. So yeah, that's why the sour nukes one's got quite a bit of a hit to it. Sherbet wise, but like between these two, I find this too strong for myself.
Do you find it that strong, do you?
Yeah, because like what this actually does is raises your choline levels. So like whenever you get a bombardment, when your brain is stimulated with too much acetylcholine, sometimes that can lead to things like depression, or in my case lethargy, after your brain starts to come back down. So I'll do half a scoop, or I'll take Nootropic Max, which, because it's got a time release caffeine blend in it, by the time the choline levels dip, the caffeine kicks in and takes you on a nice little cruise, so you don't feel that tired anymore. One of the new products that we actually got in, that's very similar in terms of nootropics, combining nootropics with fat loss, is core. In terms of fat burners, what have you ever used fat burners in the past?
Yeah. I did a bodybuilding show last year, so I was using fat burners on the regular.
Yeah.
I used dedicated. No, it weren't dedicated. I used Anabolic Designs.
Yeah, total shreddable.
Shreddable.
Yeah.
That was a very strong one.
How did you coming off that? Because that's the big thing when it comes to fat burners, that a lot of people, they feel the word is scatty afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel scatty on them.
Yeah, it's scatty on them.
Yeah,
it's
just
horrible.
like you get a major hit from them.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I didn't find much great fat loss from necessarily using it itself anyway.
No, you'll find that with a lot of fat burners in the industry, which is kind of like why we try to push the likes of the Oxymax, the Core, the Double Tap. Some of the fat burners have actually got nootropics in them.
Yeah.
Because when you're taking, most fat burners are high stimulants. You're looking at crazy ingredients in there. Some underground ones have even got banned ingredients in there. And you're taking them, and you get that satiety aspect. Yeah, it kills your appetite, but your appetite, of course, is going to be zero when you feel like throwing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to. No one wants to eat when they feel iffy. So that's where the likes of like Oxymax and Core come in, because you're combining the stimulants with the nootropics that are going to help you feel nice while you're on them, but also, you know, backed up ingredients that are actually going to break down the fat levels to be circulated around your bloodstream. As that circulates around your bloodstream, it gets burnt off as energy expenditure. So it's a nice way, if you know what you're looking for, it's a nice way to have fat loss without the negative side effects. Obviously everyone's different. You will experience some sides depending on how you react to certain ingredients. But you know, the best thing you can do is just kind of come in, speak to one of us, speak to the likes of yourself. You've got experience.
I find one of the worst things with people when they come in for a fat burner is they think they're only going to work the one of those ones they take,
Yeah.
and it blows the red off there and then.
Yeah.
Like I've spoken to a few people taking Relentless, and they think it's not blowing the red off. It's not going to do as much. Something like your Double Tap.
Not realising that it's got a heavy dose of grains of paradise there, which is going to convert your white fat to brown fat. White fat is very stubborn. It's a storage fat. It's not easy to break down. Brown fat can get broken down so much easier to be circulated, to be burned off as energy expenditure. So yeah, I mean, there's certain, like as Nick just said, you don't need to feel off your cake to have a product working.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that crosses over to pre-workouts as well.
Yeah. A lot of people think that they need to take the strongest of pre-workouts to
Yeah.
have it do something. Like a lot of people, I know people who take Brain Bridge and they'd say it wouldn't do nothing for them.
Yeah.
But
They'll look at the ingredients and go, there's nothing in there.
yeah.
It's like, hold on a minute. We had a person to contact me yesterday, and they were after a fat burner, and I was going through the benefits of taking Oxymax, and because she didn't recognise any of the ingredients, she said, "No, I don't like the sound of that." So hold on, give it a chance. Just because it's ingredients you've never heard of before, or not because she's never read up on them necessarily, but because in the past she's took fat burners with the likes of bitter orange extract. So because they're not products she's used in the past, which is necessarily in fat burners, most fat burners you'll get bitter orange extract, cayenne pepper, caffeine, you know, maybe some acetylcarnitine in there in like minuscule dosages, but the stimulants are just enough to make your head pop. You've got to give new ingredients a chance, and just because they're not going to blow your head off doesn't mean they're not going to get the job done.
Yeah.
I think that's where people tend to misjudge product. So definitely. Rounding off, number one tip to give to people that's gonna help them change their lives in terms of fitness goals. What's the one thing people do wrong that you wish you could just tell them there and then? You're doing this wrong, do this instead, and you'll see much better results.
I think it's got to be patience. You've got to have the patience. I know when I was younger, I was around a lot of lads that were a lot stronger than me, and I think I was pushing it too much to the point that I was working at McDonald's where I was eating McDonald's. I wanted to get bigger, so I was eating all the junk food I could. I wasn't keeping an eye on the actual food itself.
Yeah.
I wasn't being patient in the gym. I was just trying to lift weights as heavy as I could. Weren't using the greatest form. I think it's got to be patience, and I think it's got to be look at yourself and not the people around you. You can't look at the lad next to you or your training partner. You need to just gauge on what's going right for you and find what works with you. If it comes down to supplements, find the supplement that works with you. Find something that tastes nice. Find something that the ingredients are a good hit, but you need to make sure it's something that you can drink daily.
It's that thing where you've got to leave your ego at the door and stop comparing yourself to other people, because they're not you. They're not living the life you're living.
It's good. That's it.
Fantastic. Okay, thanks, Nick. Don't forget to subscribe, like, give us a comment, and we'll see you guys next week.